I, Neely Petrie-Blanchard, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Where we go one, we go all. God bless America.
That was Neely Petrie-Blanchard taking the QAnon digital soldier oath. On March 20th, 2020, Neely Petrie-Blanchard was arrested and charged with kidnapping and custodial interference after taking her two daughters who had been given to the sole custody of their grandmother. She began working with a sovereign citizen named Christopher Hallett to attempt to regain custody of her children. She had become a believer in Christopher Hallett and his sovereign citizen claims for years. She even at one point put a license plate on the back of her car that was named after his legal services. On November 12, 2020, Blanchard began her 300-mile trip from Florida to meet up with Hallett to get his help to regain custody of her children. 3 days later, November 15th, 2020, Hallett was murdered by multiple gunshots. Now, I want to play for you a phone call that was also played at the trial for his murder. The woman speaking is Neely Petrie-Blanchard. Tell me in the comments, do you hear anything that sounds like QAnon or sovereign citizen beliefs in this?
To do it. I just found out tonight. I have documents and evidence on me. I tried to call 911. I shot Christopher Hallett because he is a part of the human sex satanic trafficking of children. It is going on in Russellville, Kentucky. I have all the evidence with me. I need someone that is going to help me expose what has been happening. We had 7 documents. We prepared documents, and he was supposed to, he told me, he wrote on the document, I have proof that he said he was going to fax it today, and he was never going to do that. He has been exploiting me. He had me sign over my married name, my Blanchard name, my adopted name, my Neely Petrie-Blanchard name. He is the one that has exploited my name. My name is Neely Blanchard. When I got married, it was Neely Petrie. He wanted that name to be a dead corporation, and he was going to get rid of it, supposedly, but that's not what he was doing. I have evidence on my laptop right now of what is going on in Russellville, Kentucky, and throughout the station. Children are being hurt and they're being abused, and I'm not going to let it happen. My children have been exploited since 2010, and I will stand up for the children, period. Shannon and her daughter are at the house. They were in the room. They ran into the room because, of course, they were scared. But I was never going to hurt them. But I had to stop Christopher Hallett from doing what he was doing. I tried to call 911. He has it blocked in his house. He's running a server out of Marion County, Florida. I'm driving my car right now, so I don't have the exact address. I'm recording this with Kathy Cunningham. There are so many people that know what's going on. I am the only one that has been involved with Kirk's Law Corner and E-Clause that has all the information on them. I have every single document from the very beginning. I feel that my life is in danger. I know everything of what E-Clause and Kirk's Law Corner has done. There has been many people exploited in this operation, this project. I had to stop it. The evil people will not win.
I think that's a good enough place as any to, put a stop to that. I'm sure it will come as a shock to no one watching this video that, as far as I can find, there was no evidence that Hallett was involved in the trafficking of children. Yeah, so her whole dead corporation thing, that's a common sovereign citizen trope. The E-clause she mentioned is one of Hallett's things she believed in, his pseudo-law firm for sovereign citizen nonsense that she believed in, the one that she put the license plate on her car at one point. I'm sure it will come as a shock to no one that Neely Petrie-Blanchard decided to represent herself in court, and then at the last minute wanted a lawyer. But she decided to represent herself, so the answer was no. She was found guilty and sentenced to life just a few days ago. You can find it online, but sadly, this is one of those cases that doesn't get the attention I think it deserved. I think the fact that we had this woman so blatantly QAnon, sovereign citizen nonsense, and what she did fits right along in their beliefs. I feel that this should be a big story. This should be something the media should be talking about. People should know the warning signs when you hear some of these phrases and some of these words, because it's dangerous. QAnon is dangerous. And yes, there are people out there that I've seen reference this woman and think she was silenced, that she was telling the truth. In fact, I'm going to be honest, that's how I found this. I found this because while digging through far-right social media accounts, I found people on this woman's side. And they were arguing with people who were on the victim's side, and it was an argument between QAnon and sovereign citizens. They weren't on the victim's side because they were the victim. They were on the victim's side because he was a sovereign citizen. I implore you to look up more about it. See what happened. Online, you can find her arrest. That's what you're seeing an image of behind me. This is her getting arrested. Online, you can find where she goes and is interviewed by the cops. I highly recommend you look into it. And I hope now that the trial is over that some large YouTuber is going to cover this case and really put a nice, concise timeline together. I don't think I have the skills to do that, and I hope someone else does. I hope someone else covers this and gives it the attention it should have. People should know, because it's dangerous to not know.